the President established many counties along the Texas coast on August the 25th as a declared disaster area for Hurricane Harvey. But what we've learned and what we've been working on over the past few days is encouraging Governor Abbott through his office to sign off on Montgomery County, Chambers, Jefferson, and Galveston, and many counties that weren't initially included in that FEMA declared disaster area. And now we know, as of today and this afternoon, that President Trump has signed off on that request from Governor Abbott to include 33 additional counties, and Montgomery County is one of those counties. So if you've made any requests through FEMA and you've been denied and told that Montgomery County is not a county that's included in the declared disaster area, please be patient and know that there's been an amendment to the original counties that were included, and help is on the way.
Were you surprised by the amount of damage here in your home district?
Very surprised. You know, many of us that have been in the area for a long time have seen the storms, the hurricanes, the disaster areas, and the flooding over the years between Rita and Ike, and even back to Hurricane Alicia and before. We've seen so much flooding and so much tragic loss, but this really is a combination of many of those storms all put together. And the scale from Corpus Christi all the way across southeast Texas to the Louisiana border at Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Port Neches Grove, it's just incredible that so many communities have had that much wide-scale flooding to this severe extent, with an annual rainfall in just 5 days, and some areas in the Houston area reporting in between 30 and 65 inches of rain.
And what was your purpose for coming to East Montgomery County today? Were you just coming to survey the damage or see what was happening with the support efforts?
Our primary purpose has just been to listen and to see, you know, how the community and the first responders are coming together. I can't say enough about how our communities are just working together to make things happen, and that's what makes Texas Texas. And it's just been so encouraging to see that, to compare notes and information and data of supplies between shelters located in different areas of Senate District 4. We've seen different challenges and opportunities on the supply chain, from shelters across Montgomery County to what's going on here in East Montgomery County and in the Kingwood area on across to what is the eastern side of Senate District 4 that I represent in Chambers and Jefferson, which we can't reach. And so we're just putting a lot of connected dots together through all of the local leadership that's doing such a great job, and all the volunteers and first responders, to see how we can continue to help from the state level.
Is there anything you'd like your local constituents to know?
Just to have hope and continue to keep hope and faith, and that the good Lord has blessed us and will continue to provide, and knowing that everyone coming together, arm in arm, giving all that they have, not just extra supplies, but very much needed supplies that they have at home to help those that need it the most, and just to keep that strong work ethic and that positive attitude together, because it's going to happen. We're going to all see success after the storm and getting through these tough spots, because we know that in God's plan we'll make it together, and that we've got the strongest people in Texas and the nation to come together and make it happen. So stay tuned for more information, and do your best to stay safe and stay as dry as you can, and we'll be back with more information soon. And we're going to be posting that and updates to let people know that if they were rejected or got the information that we weren't part of it, that's going to be turning around. Yeah. And then I know the Vice President is in the region now. The President was in Corpus and Austin yesterday. But that, I think the credit goes to the local communities and the first responders. It's been awesome. That planning has been pretty amazing. what we saw yesterday in Kingwood was something I've never seen, and some of the worst I've seen from Katrina and Rita and Ike was back to Alicia around here, but in the 80s. But we went on we just had a civilian grab a boat that he had brought. He was a real skilled pilot, you know, but he took us in down West Lake Houston Parkway into this apartment complex in Orange County, California's tactical crew, FEMA crew, had already gone through and swept all the areas to get evacuees out and all their animals. But two couples, older couples, had decided they hid from it and didn't want to wait it out. And in that apartment complex, it was completely up to the very edge of the second floor. And we were going through, but they had electricity on the second floor, even though the air units and the breakers were in the water on the ground floor. So if there would have been a fire, they would have been in a real bind. Right. So the first couple came out, and we got them in the boat, and Luis jumped the rail and went back up for the couple that refused to come. And then about 5 minutes later, he came back down. He had talked them into it. So that was really good, and we were glad to help them out. But I've never seen anything like that. Their HEB they just built, and all their retail was completely underwater. And a lot of the evacuation was just boat by boat, you know. And so that Creekwood Middle School there, which isn't far from here, it evacuated. They sent them to 2 different churches, but they may need to come over to Bull Solace or to Lone Star Convention in Conroe, which right now is oversupplied with 400 beds and about 250 in occupancy. Yeah, and it's not far. And 13-14 is pretty solid.
Is College Park still taking people?
College Park is still taking people, but they've got a lot of folks and they've got a lot of supply.
Yeah.
So I think the coordination is just trying to figure out, it seems like Harris County is only talking to Harris County. Mm-hmm. And yet, so when they're diverting from shelters, they're moving people 50 miles away when we're close. But do we move people over here, supplies over there is the question. And then I think what you guys are doing at Bull Solace is amazing. What the community has offered in supplies. That's an organized deal running there. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
They put a lot of people in there, and then some of the churches here have opened up at least through Friday. Yeah. That's what they're telling me. And then the chief, they're telling you, getting the distribution center right here locally to help out. And
yeah.
It's a lot of people putting a lot of effort. Yeah. And it seems to be going well. We certainly appreciate all your efforts as our senator.
Appreciate
not that. Only here, but I'm sure you'll make your way down to Jefferson County and those areas as well. They're catching it over there today.
We were going there tonight from here, but we've been pushed back on that, so we're going to have to probably go in the morning.
Yeah, they're in evacuation mode.
Yeah, they are. They're really pressed over there, and I brought a picture of. Can you pull that picture up of I-10 and Winnie? I wanted to show everybody.
It's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
And so a fireman took a picture from standing in waiters on the edge of it. But it's
yeah, it's the Gulf. It looks like the Gulf hit the.
Did all of Winnie get wiped out?
Yeah.
All of Winnie got wiped out.
A lot of Winnie and Animwac's completely surrounded, and that's where their shelters are.
Yeah.
And so the problem has been getting supplies in there. And we're trying to work with the same as the guys at Bull Solace, the State Guard, which they've been pretty amazing. They're willing to go anywhere, but it's just keeping people safe while we stretch resources. You know, that's Winnie on I-10 right there with the signage above I-10.
That's right. Is that right there where 73 splits
off?
Yeah,
that's it.
LT's is gone.
LT's is gone.
Oh, not LT's. Best Cajun food.
So, and that's where segment I of the Grand Parkway connects, or it will. So, I don't know what's up.
Is that the East Montgomery County?
You know, and they designed all of this just like our homes. They designed it for a 100-year flood.
Right.
And then sometimes in between that FEMA 100 and 500-year mark, there's performance. But if they're calling this an 800, that's above my pay grade there. I can't even comprehend that. But the other side of that is from May of 15, the rains we had. I think you mentioned that. You know, if that was a 500-year flood and this is 800, we're all getting up there in age. That's about 1,300 years, and I'm assuming we're better off than that, but.
Miss Luca's home, she's been there 50 years and never had water in her house. It was 2 feet in this time. That'll tell you a lot.
Yeah. It was 2 feet from you.
In the house.
Oh, in your house.
2 feet in her house. And
Well, God bless you on that. You've seen a lot of tests, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, well, actually, we had people at my house that got up the next morning and they could leave water.
Right.
We need to get out now.
Took 12 of us here. We didn't know whether the creek had gotten to us or, you know, we were in the dark at that point.
Right.
And we called 911 that night, which is an odd thing to be in that position, you know.
Right.
We didn't know if the creek was coming on us or, you know, we didn't know where we were at on that. And,
What time of night was that?
That was 2:30 in the morning, and we
Right.
called and they said it's gonna be a long time. I just want you to know if you guys have to get on the roof, get you a ladder and that kind of thing. And, so we ended up self-evacuating. We figured it out, but.
Right. Did
that's
y'all have animals?
Scary spot to be in. We did. We looked like Noah's Ark. I think we had 7 or 8 or rabbit and about 6 or 7 dogs, and
A little
it
baby
was
and a
awful.
bunch of kids.
Yeah.
I love that. We love animals too.
We got old Judge Metts, God bless his heart. He said, I'll be there. If I can get there, I'll be there.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, my crew would be getting our animals out and then checking on me if I was all right afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's something else. They're part of the family. But the main thing is just community and first responders making it happen. And that's what it takes.
sure,
That's
everybody
awesome.
worked really hard.
Yeah. So, we never seen anything like it. I don't know what the damage assessment is, but the scale of flooding that severe from Corpus to the Louisiana line, and of course it went beyond that, but we all track Texas, is, I've never seen anything like that. They showed last night anywhere from 28 to 65 inches. I think Dickinson recorded over 60 inches in a hot spot. That's just,
Yeah, 50
It's
inches,
hard to believe, yeah.
50 inches, I know it's in a wide area. 50 inches at least, and some up to 60, that's just unheard of.
y'all know of anybody else that needs to be evacuated, or are you hearing that most people are out?
We don't, we worked this area down here yesterday up until dark and getting those out. The ones that wanted to come out, there were some that, they weren't in danger with water in their house, it's just up close to it, and that they were getting low on food
Right.
and gas for generators and things. They wanted to go somewhere else a little more comfortable. But the ones that were in danger, they're out.
Yeah.
In this area down here, I know it's on the west side of Houston, looks like some of those are being evacuated. You probably know more about that than us, but in this area, the ones that want to get out are out.
Yeah, the closest we've seen and heard, and personally we saw on people still needing to evacuate was, just east of you.
It's hard to make sense of it sometimes, because like on Facebook earlier, somebody posted, please help get this family out down in Plum Grove. And then a comment says, I live on that street and there's not even any water on the road. So it gets passed around so long, and then it makes its way, this post makes its way back in. It's never deleted once the people are
That's
safe,
right.
so you don't really know if they are or not.
Yeah, and the way our tributaries run, some of this is from the rear, or you'll have a 50-acre parcel that's surrounded, and they think that it might be a 5-mile radius, but because the families in that particular area are surrounded by water, they're posting and not knowing that.
Yeah.
Unless you can see it from the air, you really don't know what spot you're in.
Yeah.
But for the most part, East Montgomery County performed much better than Kingwood with the same rain, which you just never know where those pockets are when it sits and it dumps. It could be 3 miles from you, and how it works. But you're doing a great job as always, and appreciate you. You're something else.
Certainly, thank you, Brandon,
Yeah, thank you,
for
Judge.
all that you do, not only in this disaster, but all the time, the legislation that you pass that's great for everybody.
Appreciate that. I'm glad to be home and breathing clean air from Austin, Texas to here. I'm glad to be home.
Yes, I'm here.
I understand that.
How are you?
I'm good.
I haven't got a hug yet, but I'll get it.
I understand that the Democrats said the good thing about this was that it was going to get rid of these black bugs, and they lied again.
All the love bugs? Yeah, they're pouring in today.
Yeah.
It's raining love bugs, for sure.
So they lied again.
Yeah, we got lied to again, didn't we? Well, we'll rely on real news instead of fake news for that. We sure know what the truth is. That's right. That's a good point. I took a few of them out coming down 13th. Luis and I did our best.
Yeah, if you look at my car, I did my part
To
too.
clarify, I love not Democrat.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll get there.
Yeah.